My father was not in my life. Did I know who my father was? Absolutely. You guys, you're hanging out with me today. You are hanging out with me today because your girl needs to vent. I'm just leaving Target because I need to get an SD card so I can talk to you. My SD card is at home. I brought you out with me, and when I get out, there's no SD card in here. So I had to go to Target really quickly, buy an SD card, and I said, you know what, I have plenty of them home. I could have went home and got one, but I was just too lazy to do it. So I spent $30 on an SD card, and the SD card is too slow, but it's usable. So in saying all of that, we're gonna get our nails done, and I need to vent. I know you saw the title of the video, so let's get into it. I was triggered really, really bad. I have been in therapy for over 5 years of various things, not just father wounds. Is a plethora of things. And you know, usually when you get to therapy on whatever level that might be, it's because there's a ton of things that done got to you and you just can't take it no more and you're at your wit's end. Some people don't do therapy, they might choose other avenues, but your girl here, she chose therapy. Has therapy been working? Absolutely. Do I see a difference in myself and the way I react? Yes, I do. But this one thing right here definitely took me out my element. When I tell you the hairs on my arms and back had raised. And I said, Kelly, are you really healed? Are you really healed? But I am. What got me angry was the audacity of the person who said something to me. I had to check them. So, let me give you guys some content, because we love a good story time over here, right? Don't we? We're going to Starbucks because we need to get some fuel. I'm gonna get me a chai. Is it chai? No, not a chai. We gotta go inside, y'all. We gotta go inside. I can see the line already out the door. The line's out the door. People went crazy for those like teddy bear type tumbler thingies or whatever. I don't even think it was like a huge, like it was big or anything, but they were going nuts over it. Never me, but we're gonna get this citrus mint tea. That's what we're gonna do. And get back to the story time. I got triggered really bad, and it was my aunt, my brother's sister. You hear me? Goodness, why is it so crowded in here? I'm gonna go to the Starbucks by my nail place. I'll do that. We'll do that.
I have found multiple results. Where are we off to?
Stop.
Bluetooth audio has already been paused.
Okay. So, let's start with it. My father was not in my life. Did I know who my father was? Absolutely. Later on in life, I really got to know, like my teenage years and young adult years, I got to know my father's side of the family. Not because my mother or anything like that. It's just because my father. And, you know, as I've gotten older and been through therapy and things like that, I've come to realize he had his own traumas. You know what I mean? So when you have your own traumas, those things kind of spill on into being a parent, so forth and so on. And I mean, I probably have spilled some things over indirectly, not even knowing I've done it. You know what I mean? To my own children. So I give grace when grace is needed. I want some grace. Okay, so I later on in life I got really, really familiar with my father's side of the family. To this day, me living down here in the South now, I am really, really, cool with my father's side of the family, and I'm close to one of my cousins. Like, we're really, really close. So times have definitely, evolved, and during this time when I came down here, I had two aunts. One aunt had passed away. Well, I have really three aunts. Don't deal with her. That's another story, another day. Two aunts, they were really, really there for me, wanting me to get to know the family and stuff like that, and just, taking me around, introducing me, just to kind of know me on a adult level when it was like back in my 20s and like 17, 18, things like that, right? One of my aunts passed. One of my aunts, she's still living. Now, this particular aunt, she's not for the weak, okay? She's not for the weak. And nothing against religious people, nothing against the church goers, nothing against the Bible thumpers, nothing against you. But when you apply everything to that book, and you got a person like me, that ain't gonna fly. So I'm gonna need you to either bring it up or bring it down. Tap in or tap out. One of the two. Okay? So, throughout the years, if somebody passed away, some type of homegoing ceremony, any type of good ceremony, whatever it is, mostly it's funerals, I will see my father at these events. One event, I really chewed into him, and this was before I started therapy, because I wanted him to feel what I felt. I wanted him to get a lashing, and I did that. Not saying it's right or wrong, but it was done, right? Fast forward some more. This particular aunt, she will always, your father loves you. Your father loves you. He's there for you. Sometimes you just gotta move on and you just gotta forgive, but your father loves you. All the things, right? Now, mind you, I'm 30, 40. Here I go. I'm a sneeze away from 50. My mother has always been there for me, no matter what, right? And I understand as we get older, we should probably let some things go. Don't hold on to them and things like that. All the things. And my therapist had told me, write a letter to yourself. All the different tools that come with healing of things in your life. And one of these, there's so many other things that I've healed from. But this particular one is like a doozy. So, write letters to yourself, forgive them, they don't have to be in your life anymore, have a conversation with them. And I did. I had a conversation with my father about maybe a year and a half ago. And what made me have a conversation with him, and I'm gonna get into what triggered me, I'm just giving y'all some context, some backstory here. What made me have a conversation with him is because he was calling me. And if I'm right or if I'm wrong, y'all chime in. Let me know. I'm at a point now where I can take a little bit. So he was calling me. And, he was letting me know he was going through some different things in life, some health issues and whatnot. And it's like, I done been through some health issues. I done been through some things, I done had 2 daughters. I done had so many things go on in my life. And not one time will you ever hear from me. Anything. Graduations, Christmas, losing a tooth. I'm taking it back to even bringing it present. Getting my degrees, all these different things in my life, that milestones that we go through just as humans, even if you don't got degrees, if you don't have, you still go through things, if it's new jobs or whatever, meeting new friends, accomplishing a weight loss goal, whatever that might be. I'm from big to minute. He was never there, right? So he was calling me, and I said to him, he said, what's all the calls about? And he was like, I'm just trying to make sure, get things right. Life is looking different for me. So, I'm bold. I'm not going to lie to you. And I know some things, come on now, go ahead. Some things I can't take and some things I can take. And I am aware of that. But I felt like with this situation, it was exclusive to me. So it didn't have to be dealt with anybody outside of me. So I said, so what do you mean you got things going on with you? He was like, well, my health is not right. And, I know I can't go back in time and, get things right with you or be your father. But I just kind of want to, just make sure that we're good. This is why I say, men, if you have children, no matter if it's a daughter or a son, stay in their life. Even if you have an issue with the mother, your children have nothing to do with it. And don't blame it and be like, oh, the mother. You know how to get to your children. Take her tail to court. Sometimes you got to bite people how they bite you. You know what I mean? But let me not reel off. So I said, so you want to, you feel like things are not going right with you and you kind of want to make sure me and you good before you, leave this earth? He said, yeah. So him admitting that, it was like, nah. So one day I was in the house and I'm just, thinking about what he said to me. I called him and he won't at his best, but I had to do what I had to do for me. So I talked to him and I was like, I need to talk to you. I ain't asked him how he was doing. I ain't asked none of that, because you ain't never asked me how I was doing. You ain't never asked me how I felt about all of this and knowing how, as a young girl, as a young lady, as a woman, how this could have affected me. You never asked me anything, so I'm not asking you nothing. I could be wrong, but here we are. So I said, I need to get something off my chest. He was like, sure, what you want to talk about? I said, I want to talk about you and our relationship, and I want to talk about how, you weren't there for me, and so forth and so on. So I kind of like did the laundry list. I went off for an hour and a half. No breaks, no water, dry mouth. I went off. I let him get in maybe once or twice, but when he did get in, he was trying to tell me how he was only 35 years old. He didn't know right from wrong. He was young and he didn't know how to be a father, let alone be a husband. I wasn't buying it. And I understand back in that era, that was the era of, fathers wasn't in the home, or they were getting them out the home, rather, I should say. Crack epidemic, back in them days, in the 80s, it was crazy. I was born in 76, so I grew up in the 80s. It was a lot. So bottom line, I simply had to say, I got everything off my chest. I told him how he wasn't there for me and stuff like that, and it's how it affected me in my life, dating, me just being a woman, trying to use my better judgment. Wish I would have had some type of guidance and stuff like that. Picking men, relationships, all the different things. I'm not blaming him, but I just wish he was there as a tool, a guidance and stuff like that. After I got it off my chest and told him how I really felt and how he wasn't there for me just as a daughter, and having that father love, that father figure there for me, this man said, as if it was my fault that he wasn't there for me. He flipped it straight out the book, narcissist style. You better hope, this is what he said to me after I finished, at the end, you better hope I don't have a heart attack tonight from all what you just told me. I said, you know what, sir? I'm just happy I got it off my chest. I'm good. I forgive you. But I can't do you in my life. I can't do you with, you're trying to come in my life because before you hit the pearly gates, you want to make sure you good with the Lord. I can't do that for you. I can't do that for you. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I need a little bit more therapy. I don't know. But I can't do that for you. But I'm telling you this. I forgive you. And I'm forgiving you for myself. So I can move on. That's that. So, every now and then he'll call, holiday, how you doing? Just happy, happy Thanksgiving, happy birthday. I haven't had a happy birthday from you in decades. You've never happy birthdayed me. But you wait until you get sick and then you happy birthday in me. Happy birthday me. He said it to me. Happy birthday last year. After I told him how I felt. Meanwhile, I've never got a card. I never got anything. Never even told me. Not even a cake. Forget the whole gift giving. You never even told me before. I've never heard you say it to me. But you tell me now. I know we all need grace. I know we all do things in our lives when we want. But you literally told me, before you go, you want to make good with me. We good. I see you for who you are. I know you for who you are. Right? So, fast forward to how I got triggered. I know I'm missing a whole bunch of pieces. And I'll get into how I'm going to recap those things. So, you know how you I'm on Facebook. Let me get it right. You know how when you on Facebook, right? And they give you those memories. I post pictures of my mom all the time on my Facebook. I have family and friends up there, Facebook is Facebook, So I post my mom all the time. And I haven't posted in a while on like my personal Facebook, like a while. So they had a memory that came up of my mother at my cousin's wedding. And this wedding was probably like 14 years ago. I think my cousin's been married that long. And I just reposted my mother looked really pretty in the picture. She had a really nice dress on. Her hair was looking nice. She had some really, she loved a good red lip, like a burgundy red lip, not quite get down brown for those of you who know that lipstick. That was two of my aunt's favorite lipstick. And I thought she just looked pretty, and I just reposted my mom's picture and I put a heart. And everybody know I don't play about my mother. Everybody know my mother is my world. Besides my daughters, they know my mother is right in that bunch. Everybody get cut equal. So I reposted the picture and everybody was liking it. And my aunt on my father's side, she said, cherish the moment. Now, meanwhile, I posted that like maybe a month ago, right? The repost. And she said that, cherish the moment. So what she said. And she liked it. She wound up calling me about 3 weeks later. No. Yeah. 3 weeks later. So now it's 4 weeks. I'm talking about it now because it's I still think about that conversation. She said, hey, niece. Hey, auntie checking in. That's how she talk, right? Hey, how you doing? Hope I ain't bothering you. No, you're not. How you doing? Things okay? Because it was like 9 o'clock at night. It's like 9:30. And normally I don't hear from anybody like that in the nighttime. Like aunts and stuff like that at night. So I thought something was going on. So I'm like, hey, She was like, I sent you a message on Facebook and you didn't respond. I said, I didn't get it. She said, you posted a picture of your mother. I said, and I responded back to you. She said, no, you didn't. I said, you put cherish the moments. I liked it and I said, I will. She said, no. I sent something else. I said, I didn't get it. I said, you sent it through Messenger now? Messenger, I don't play around with. She was like, no, I put it under the post. I said, and what was that? She said, well, maybe I didn't. She said, well, I want to say this to you. I hope you cherish your father the same way you cherish your mother. Do you know the horns that I didn't even know I had emerged from my head? I said, what? What did you just say? And at this point, I had to ease up off my bar stool. I was sitting on my bar stool when she called. And I was like, what did you just say? She was like, you know, you post your mother. I know your mother, you cherish her, but you got to cherish your father. I hope you have the same love that you have for your mother, you have for your father. I said, I don't. Now what? Well, you know what? He loves you. He loves you. I said, so why don't he tell me? Why hadn't he shown me? Why are you the messenger? Why are you involved? So I said, why didn't he tell me? Why are you calling me? Your father loves you. I said, you didn't live my life. You did not live my life. If you want to get on the phone and have a three-way conversation with that man, let me know. We can bring him in right now. And I want you to hear him tell you how he was in my life. And what part of my life where he showed up and showed out. And not even that part. Just showed up the way he could. Because everybody don't have the, the luxury or the privilege to show up and show out. Just do the bare minimum. Want to get him on the phone? Well, we ain't got to do all of that, Kelly. Well, what do we have to do? I said, that man was never there for me. I mean, I tell you, I went off. And I said, don't you ever call me again telling me how I need to feel about my absent father. And I said, if you can't call me just to ask me how I'm doing, don't call me no more. And this is how you know. This is when you got to cut family off. And I said to you, you just disrupted my whole night because you called and you literally lied because you tried to find a gateway to have a conversation with me. When I tell you that woman triggered me, she triggered me so bad, I was ready to call him and say, you know what? You had your sister call me, warn me, doing all of this. But I didn't do that. But I wanted to. Old Kelly would have woke everybody up that night. I would have called not only him, I would have called my cousins on both sides of my family. I would have called everybody. I probably would have called a friend or several friends. Group chat. Because I would have been ready to, I would have wanted the army. But I didn't do that. And she started quoting scriptures. I said, I don't want to hear nothing out that book right now. I don't want to hear nothing out that book. Well, you need to forgive. It says forgive. Is there a scripture that say mind your business? Is it a scripture in it say mind your business? Because if it is, read it and apply it. Bottom line, I got triggered. I got triggered so bad. But I'm better now. But I want to share that with you. Because during my healing journey, I used to journal a lot. Journal if it was in my phone, if it was in a book. Then I got tired of writing because it was like my hands was hurting. I had so much to say. My brain was going faster than my mouth. I was trying to write it out. I'm talking it out. It was so much. Or I'm crying while I'm doing it. The whole shebang. But I said, I know I'm not the only one out here. It don't just have to be a father wound. It could be a mother wound. It could even be, children. It could be anything. I know I'm not the only one out here who's going through this, or maybe who went through this. But I wanted to share my journals. I started a Substack. I was trying to figure out a way, how can I share this where it could be free? Because I was sitting back. I wanted to find a new email, right? A new email service. I used MailChimp. I still use MailChimp. I use MailChimp. And MailChimp it's too much, right? So I said, how can I still do this? Let's walk and talk, y'all. I didn't even put the mic on. I gotta put the mic on now. That's how you know I'm hot. That's how you know Kelly is hot. We're gonna put the mic on now, though. Okay. Cause we about to go outside. We're gonna go to, hold on, let's get you down here. Let's go. I'm gonna walk over here, get me some Starbucks. I wanted to do a newsletter because I want to keep in contact with those. Sometimes I don't want to be on social media. Sometimes I just want to write something and share. Before I mentioned I wanted to do like finance stuff. I wanted to do beauty corner, all these different things, but I could not do that on MailChimp. It was just because I have so many emails that it was just too much. But bottom line, I can't get into justifications of that. So I said I can go to Substack. I can have as many subscribers, I can have as many emails as I need. So I did that. So as I mentioned before, while I'm waiting for mine, I keep getting it mixed up. It's honey citrus mint tea, and I'm calling it everything else but that. It used to be called medicine ball at one point in time. So I got the Substack, and I'm able to have an email list over there where I can send things out if it's a blog post, if it's my podcast, all different things. And plus, I'm sharing my healing journey that I wrote down, all my journal entries. So I have a ton. I put up 4 so far. I'm going to put up some more. But I wanted you to go over there and read my journals. And I'm sharing from the beginning, how I felt, to how I am now. And now I'm sitting back thinking, do I need to go back and start writing some more? Because your girl got triggered. Real bad. Real bad. So, in saying all of that, let me know if you have any father or mother wounds. I'm like, here. Thank you. I'm raising my hand like I'm at school. I'm like, here. So, they got their Christmas cups out.
Kelly?
Thank you. You say thank you. Okay, we have to get out of there. They were fast and good. This drive-through line is serious. You hear me? But I wanted to share that with you guys because it made me think that I need to get back into my journaling again and getting things out, because she shouldn't have been able to trigger me to that point. I just should have been like, okay, yeah, I know he does, and let it go. But I didn't do that. I went off, like bad off. We got a good spot. She sat us in front of the window, y'all. Couldn't ask for anything better. I gotta get myself together. This chair is humped back like this. Okay, seriously? Okay, so I'm rolling up my pants leg. Well, I don't need to yet. My appointment is not until 10:30, but I got here early because sometimes she comes early. So it's enough time for me to talk to you in addition to eat my food. So I got about maybe 10 minutes. So in saying all of that, just let me know if you experience, what I'm going through, what I went through, or whatever. I know I probably should have answered differently, but I have to share that. We all just real people going through real things in life, and there's no wrong answer or right answer. I'm sure. I remember I was told. I was told back in the day, I was probably like 34, 35, and somebody had told me, "You just get over it. You need to just get over it." And I was like, "What? Like, you too old to be feeling like this." And I think what hurts me the most is that I was able to see, even though my father wasn't around, I know how he was with other women. It was like, oh, you can have a relationship with women, but you can't have a relationship with your daughter. And that's something that always, always, always bothered me. So I always remembered that. And I always remember how he had a wife after him and my mom had divorced. He did the same thing to her. I just remember so much, like clear. Nothing's foggy. Nothing's like, well, let me think a little bit. No, that happened. You know that movie Inside Out? And how you got like some memories that stay, some memories that go. This is one of the memories that don't go. Don't go. But yeah. But I wanted to have that conversation with you and talk about it. But I'm gonna leave the Substack down below. I want you to read my journals. I'm probably gonna do some more because it was so therapeutic, even sharing it and seeing other women saying, wow, I feel the same way, or my daughter feels this way, or something like that. You know, we all know we go through it. History repeats itself. You know, things that happened back in the day happen now. A man or a woman not being a parent is nothing new, you know, so that's what it is. But while we out, we going to dilly-dally a little bit. We're going to go to Ulta when I finish here. I did go to Sephora yesterday. I only bought some perfume due to the sale that they having, so I was able to get 20% off some fragrances that I wanted. I might go to Crabtree. I want to get this. I think it's called Mew Mew or Mau Mau, something like that. Don't quote me. But I want to go and check that fragrance out and see if I like it. I'm not too far, so I might just go ahead and go over there. But I'm going to go to Ulta. I want to get some lipstick. I want to get a red lip. I got plenty of red lips, but I want to get a new one. But my bald head, I feel like a red lip would go good. I don't know. But let's enjoy this pedicure. Let's enjoy this Starbucks and sit back and enjoy the moment. And we're going to get it when we get to Ulta. All done. I was supposed to be going out tonight. I don't know if I mentioned that. But plans got canceled real fast. It is, I think, 12 o'clock or so. I'm supposed to go out with my cousin. I'm supposed to go to this day, like a day party, day brunch thing. It starts at 11:30 and it ends at 4. I'm just finishing my nails. And I was here from 10:30. Well, earlier than that. I got red, y'all. Can't tell me nothing. So we're going to test this red nail theory. And it's 12 o'clock right now. I still want to go to Ulta. I still want to go to Crabtree to check out Sephora over there so I can find this fragrance. And I don't feel like rushing. And I have this funny feeling by the time I go home and get just doing. Hey girl, I talk to my car. Meg, I don't feel like rushing, so I told her, let's can this day party. Let's can it. We can't do it. It's over. I think they do it like every first Friday. So this would be this would be the second Saturday. Yeah, it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. So in saying all of that, we're gonna go to Ulta and see if I can get this red lipstick that I saw, or that I want. It's from Maybelline, and I'm gonna take a ride out to Crabtree.
It sounds like you might be asked. I can do things for you whenever you want, such as calling someone, writing text messages, or playing music. Because my heart's in it, I know everything there is to know about driving in your vehicle. For example, you can tell me, hey Mercedes, drive me home. Or ask, Hey Mercedes, is there congestion on my route? You can also tell me if you're too warm, too cold, or if you're bored or hungry. My goal is to constantly evolve in order to give you the best possible support. Every now and again, just ask me if I've learned anything new. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and wish you a pleasant journey as always.
Thank you. Normally she say you welcome. She ain't feeling me. But let's go to Ulta. Let's go to Ulta. So they don't have it. The lady said give it about 2 weeks and they should have it. But they didn't have the new. I don't know if I told you. I want to get the new Maybelline, like a new matte lipstick. Oh, my man. Clearly, Megan is on the rotation. So, should I go to Crabtree and try to find? It's only 3 miles away. Really 4.
The route is being calculated.
Let's go to Crabtree.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
I'm so gung-ho about this perfume. I don't know why. Meanwhile, it's like $130, which is probably not bad. You know, K.I.L.E. and anything else and Marc Jacobs, they all roughly $100. You know, $90.
Now turn right.
Meanwhile, I just bought 2 yesterday. But not for nothing. When I do buy fragrances, I do kind of get them in either 3s and 4s. I don't know why. 2 is like, I got a pair, I'm even, but I just need some more to take me over the top. Thank you. Ooh, let me go. So when I was getting my nails done, I was sitting back thinking like, wow, now that you guys know about my Substack, it's like, what do you guys would think about?
Now turn left.
You know, my healing journey, things that I thought, how I felt. You know, this is pretty much like healing that little girl inside of me. And I have a conversation that I want to have about that, because you can not even have a father wound, not have a mother wound, but there's still things that sometimes that little girl inside of you has not been soothed or whatever the case may be. And I don't know if somebody will sit and say, girl, you need to get over that. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. And I know a lot of people don't feel like me. Some people think, they don't feel. It's 2 different things. It's 2 different things. But girl, let's get on this road and drive, and I can enjoy some Megan. So I came here for no reason. They had the one that I wanted, but it didn't do nothing for my nose. Oh no. So we are going home. I just burned some unnecessary gas to get over here, but that's okay. At least I know that's not what I wanted. Now that smells all over my hand. And it said it had strawberry, vanilla, and brown sugar as like the main notes. It was smelling like Elizabeth Arden, back door, red door. I said back door. Red door. A mess. But I love a good vanilla, strawberry. My nest is strawberry. Smells amazing. And my whole idea was to mix it. I was like, oh, this would be a good layer moment right here. I had all envisioned. In my head, my nose, everything. Negative. Nothing at all. But I want to say thank you for listening, letting your girl vent, and yeah. we'll catch up. We'll catch up.